Good morning, everyone. I wanted to explain Essay 2 in more detail so that you would understand this assignment. Essay 2 is an argumentative essay that you're going to be working on this week. Here's the background for the topic. You're going to be synthesizing issues of multi-ethnic identity that are faced by immigrant families. And you're going to use the articles An Ethnic Trump and My Childhood, as well as the novel Breath, Eyes, Memory, as far as you've read, in your paper. So read over this background. This is all in the Essay 2 assignment in the Session 4 description page. There's a link. Here's the topic itself, okay? So you're going to be focusing on the choices that immigrant parents make when they move to a new culture. Should they assimilate completely into the dominant culture and give up their native culture? Or should the parents enforce their original cultural norms on their children while bringing them up in the American culture? So these are two positions, and you are to take a position and then develop that with an essay. Here's an outline, just a real rough outline of how your essay is going to look. You notice that it has the basic 1, 2, 3 points, but it also has an additional paragraph called Counter Argument and Refutation. So that's the main reason why I'm doing this presentation, is because this essay has another piece in it that might be new to you. Okay, so again, here are the topics, 2 questions, and the answers to those 2 questions would be, to one of those questions would be your thesis statement. Okay, so you're going to take a position one way or the other. And here is an example of a thesis statement that would take the first position. You don't have to write your thesis exactly like this. This is just an example. Immigrant parents should give up their original culture and assimilate completely into the American culture. And when we brainstormed in another English 101 class, students came up with these possible arguments, and these would be reasons why parents should do this. They can avoid isolation, they can help their children and themselves get a successful career, they'll be abiding by American laws, teaching their children morals and values in the American culture, and the children will fit in better in school and understand the language and make American friends. On the other hand, in discussion, another group of students came up with these arguments or reason in support of an opposite thesis, that immigrant parents should enforce their original cultural norms on their children who are raised in the American culture. And why would this be good? According to students, they could keep the original culture or customs alive, pass on language to their children, maintain their native original religious practices, teach children their native culture's morals and values, and finally they felt that the children will learn English and American culture in school anyway, so they can keep their native culture alive. Okay, so far, you know, if you were writing essay 2, you could take one of these 2 positions, pick 3 reasons, and write an essay, and you'd have a typical 5-paragraph academic essay. But I want you to do one more thing. I want you to add a counter-argument paragraph. Okay? So the word counter-argument basically just means the opposing side's argument. So I'm just going to ask you to include one statement of the opposing side's reasons, one reason or one statement of the position of the opposing side. So you begin your counter-argument paragraph by stating what the opposing side's position is, and then you're going to refute that position. Okay? You're going to use logos, pathos, and ethos, which you should have learned about in another presentation in the Session 4 description page, to logically explain why this counter argument, the opposing side's position, is faulty. Okay? So here I have an example, and this example would fit into Essay 2. Don't make your counter-argument paragraph look exactly like this. This is just an example. Okay? Look at the first sentence in red. Some people argue that immigrant families must relinquish their native culture in order to assimilate into a new society. That is the restatement of the counter-argument, the opposing side's argument. Okay? Then the rest of the paragraph is going to try to knock down, refute, cast doubt on this position. Okay, so in blue you see your statement, you the writer, saying this idea is absurd. Okay, I don't agree with it. Okay? In green you see two reasons why you're going to try to say that the opposing side's position is faulty. First, in green, any American who thinks that is so, that immigrant families should relinquish their culture, should recall how their ancestors nearly massacred thousands of Native American Indians so that the dominant Western culture might prevail. So that's going to be the first argument that you're going to present in this paragraph to knock down the counter argument. Okay? The second one in green is, in fact, many immigrants have successfully adapted to U.S. culture by retaining their own individual cultures. Then in purple, you see more explanation and detail of each of these two reasons in green. Okay? So the first one was about Native Americans. This first reason employs the appeal of pathos, okay? Because most Americans are ashamed of the fact that mostly white U.S. settlers murdered Native Americans and stole their land from them. They basically kept pushing them west and just took their land from them. So this is a shameful period in American history. So here you use words that show strong emotions and make people feel emotional about this. So the word massacre, for example, ashamed, these are words that are meant to evoke emotions. Okay? In the second reason, jump down to, in fact, many immigrants have successfully adapted. Okay? The part in purple, the example of Bong Kim, the author of My Childhood, is meant to be a logical or logos kind of appeal. Okay? You read the story. You know that Kim at first was confused about his cultural identity. He tried to be American, and then only after he traveled back to Korea did he figure out who he was. So this is logical. You can logically see how from step A to step B, in the end, now Kim is a very successful U.S. businessman. You can Google him and find out that he's the CEO of some big company. Okay? So this is an example of logos. And then finally, I'd like you to read over this paragraph again, and if you have any questions about writing your own essay too, please feel free to email me. There is also on Session 4 a template for writing a counter-argument paragraph. If you open up that file, it's a Word document, I think you'll find it useful. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Thank you.